Hey everyone, Danny Webster here for PocketNow.com, and this is the hardware review of the Pantech Burst for AT&T, one of the very first 4G LTE phones for AT&T. So let's get to the hardware review. So the Pantech Burst has some pretty slick hardware features available. This is one of the very first 4G LTE devices for AT&T, and with a subsidized price of $49 with a qualifying 2-year agreement, you get some pretty good hardware out of that price. So let's go through some of the hardware on this particular device. And it does have a 1200 megahertz Qualcomm Snapdragon processor. The screen is a 4-inch Super AMOLED WVGA resolution screen, and that is behind a glass capacitive multi-touch digitizer. And what else do we have? We have 16 gigabytes of internal ROM. So we'll go around the device and view some of the hardware. We have the headphone speaker here. We have the front-facing VGA camera, light sensor, and a proximity sensor. Our AT&T logo, our screen, of course. We have these capacitive buttons on the bottom, our menu, our home, our back, and our search. Of course, we've all mentioned that the search button isn't that functional these days. On the top, we have a 3.5mm headphone jack, our power standby button. On this side of the device, we have our volume rocker, and that's about pretty much it. As you can see, we do have these red accents, and the device is available in 2 colors. We have the ruby red one, which AT&T was nice enough to send us, and it's also available in graphite. On the bottom, we have our primary microphone, and we also have a little tab here to remove the back battery cover. On this side of the device, we have our micro USB charging sync port here. On the back, we have a secondary microphone, an LED flash for our 5 megapixel camera, and also our speaker. So on the bottom, we also have the Pantech logo here. We can just pop off this battery cover, which is made of plastic, but does look like metallic metal, and it does come in 2 colors like I mentioned before, and you can see that metallic texture in the light reflex of the camera. So here we have the micro SD card slot. It does not come with a micro SD card, but it is expandable up to 32 gigabytes. So it does give you a potential of 48 gigabytes total of memory. And we have a micro SIM card, which is pretty rare in the mobile industry. Of course, the first phone to have the micro SIM card was the iPhone 4, and it is nice to be able to see other devices coming out with the micro SIM card. We have a 1650 milliamp hour lithium ion battery. So we'll just pop this back on. So the dimensions of the Pantech Burst are 65.2 millimeters across, 126.5 millimeters in height, and 11.4 millimeters in depth. The radios keeping everything connected is we have a quad band GSM 850, 900, 1800, and 1900, along with tri-band UMTS HSPA Plus in the 850, 1900, and 2100 bands. This particular device does have LTE in 700 and 1700 megahertz bands, so you could potentially, maybe in the future, get onto a Verizon's LTE service because they are running on the 700 bands. And one thing that we noticed on PDA database is it says that this device has a TDMB digital tuner, so you could potentially, maybe in the future, get some digital broadcast television signals directly to your Pantech Burst. And you can also access Wi-Fi in the BG and N bands, and there also is an accelerometer and digital compass built into the Pantech Burst. So this has been the hardware review of the Pantech Burst for AT&T, which is capable of running on the AT&T 4G LTE bands, but of course those are in very limited markets around the country, so if you're unable to access those, you may want to hold off on purchasing this device. But if you know that they're going to come out in the near future, or if you're able to access them, by all means go ahead and purchase this particular device, because this is a great piece of hardware, especially for the $49 subsidized price. Stay tuned for the software review coming up next, and also the final review in the near future. If you like our videos, make sure you give us a thumbs up, and also leave some comments down below. Thanks for watching.